There's a very common frustration among women who want to have a more interesting style but feel stuck in the basics because they think any change requires buying new pieces or creating combinations that are too complicated for everyday life. The truth is that stepping out of the basics has nothing to do with complication or investment. It's about small strategic adjustments that instantly elevate the visual interest of what you wear, without adding any difficulty when getting dressed. I'm going to show you practical, immediate ways to transform basic outfits into something with much more personality, using only what you already own. These are strategies you can implement today without spending a single cent. The first powerful technique is consciously changing the proportions of your basic outfits. Most people wear everything fitted or everything loose, and that creates that sense of a common, personality-free look. When you deliberately combine a more fitted piece with a looser one, you create visual contrast that automatically looks more intentional and stylish. For example, that basic t-shirt you have becomes something else when you tuck it into high-waisted pants and leave a bit of volume at the top, instead of leaving it completely flat and fitted. The same works the other way around. A loose, oversized top gains a completely different dimension when you pair it with more structured pants or a skirt. The trick here is understanding that proportion is about the contrast between pieces, not about each piece individually, and you control that without buying anything new. The second strategy is to use your basic pieces in unconventional ways, and this is simpler than it seems. That basic shirt you always wear, buttoned and tucked in, can be worn open as a third layer over a t-shirt, functioning like a light vest. It can be tied around the waist. It can be worn half-buttoned, creating a layered neckline. A cardigan you always wear, closed looks completely different when you drape it over your shoulders like a casual cape. A scarf you normally wear around your neck can become a detail tied to a bag strap, around the waist of a dress, or in your hair. The point is to question the one single way you automatically wear each piece and explore the other possibilities already within it. The third extremely effective technique is working with layers intelligently, even in warm climates. Layers don't necessarily mean being hot, they mean creating visual depth in your outfit. You can wear a tank top under a t-shirt with the tank showing at the neckline and hem, creating two colors in a look that would otherwise be monochromatic. You can wear a long-sleeve shirt under a strappy dress, and suddenly that simple summer dress becomes a completely different piece. A t-shirt under a strappy jumpsuit, a thin turtleneck under a t-shirt. These subtle combinations create visual interest without complication, because you're still wearing comfortable, practical pieces. You're just pairing them in a way that adds layers of color and texture to the outfit. A strategy very few people explore is playing with different ways of tying or adjusting pieces using only the clothes themselves. You can make a side knot on a t-shirt, which completely changes the silhouette and creates a focal point. You can roll your sleeves in different ways, a wider, more structured roll instead of the usual tight one. You can do a partial front tuck, tucking only one side of the top into your pants. You can pull the sleeves of a sweater slightly above the elbows, creating volume. You can adjust a neckline by pulling one shoulder slightly to the side. These micro adjustments literally take 5 seconds, but transform an ordinary piece into something that looks styled, because you're creating shapes and volumes that aren't the obvious pattern everyone uses. Another powerful technique is working with color repetition in a non-obvious way. Instead of creating a fully monochromatic look, which everyone already knows works, you can repeat the same color in specific points of the outfit to create a visual thread. For example, wearing shoes and an accessory in the same color, even if the rest of the outfit is neutral or in other colors. Or repeating the color of your top in a small detail on the bottom, like a belt, a print on your skirt, or even the color of your bag. This creates cohesion and makes the outfit look intentional without you needing to buy matching sets or put together a full monochromatic look, which can sometimes be difficult with the pieces you have. It's a way to create visual connection between pieces using what you already own. Before we go on, do you also waste time every day not knowing what to wear? If that's your situation, the Look Gallery solves it. It's 1,000 ready-to-wear outfits organized by weather and occasion. You open it on your phone, choose what makes sense for your day, And that's it, a complete outfit to copy, no thinking and no time wasted. Just scan the QR on the screen or click the pinned link. The fifth strategy is absolutely transformative, but almost no one uses it. Changing the way you wear basic accessories. Everyone has scarves, belts, simple jewelry, but usually wears them in the most obvious way. A belt doesn't have to be in your pants belt loops. It can go over a loose dress. It can be tied around an oversized shirt. It can sit at a higher or lower waistline than the standard placement. Big earrings don't always need to come with a necklace. Sometimes the earrings alone create the necessary impact. You can tie a long necklace to turn it into a choker. You can wear multiple simple rings instead of one statement ring. The point is that the same basic accessories you have create completely different effects depending on how and where you place them. And this costs nothing but experimentation. An extremely underrated technique is creating deliberate focal points in basic outfits using elements you already have. This means consciously choosing one area of the look where something interesting will happen while the rest stays simple. It can be a detail in your hair, a different hairstyle, or a hair accessory. Even the way you wear your hair up or down changes the perception of the entire look. It can be makeup with one more striking element, like a bold lipstick, or a more dramatic eye, which elevates even the simplest outfit. It can be an interesting pair of shoes with a neutral look. The focal point technique works because the human eye needs a place to rest, and when you control where that place is, you control the perception of the whole outfit. Another effective trick is working with textures using pieces you already have. You probably have cotton, knitwear, denim, and more structured fabrics in your wardrobe, and most people never consciously think about combining different textures. When you wear a cotton t-shirt with a more fluid skirt, or a knit sweater with smooth, tailored pants, or a silk blouse with jeans, you're creating tactile contrast that automatically makes the outfit look more interesting. The trick is simply paying attention to textures and deliberately choosing pieces that differ from one another instead of choosing everything in the same type of fabric. This adds visual dimension without you doing anything beyond noticing the physical properties of your clothes. A strategy that completely transforms basic outfits is intentionally playing with lengths. Instead of always wearing your tops at their natural length, try French tucks. That inward fold that leaves the piece a few centimeters shorter. Try wearing a long top with one side shorter than the other. Wear socks slightly peeking above your shoes with pants that are a bit shorter. Let a longer shirt peek out from under a sweater. These plays on length create subtle layers and asymmetries that make the eye sense something different is happening, even if the person can't pinpoint exactly what it is. And you're doing all of this just by adjusting how the pieces sit on you, not by buying anything new. The 10th technique is extremely powerful, using color strategically in small doses. If you have a predominantly neutral wardrobe, you don't need to buy fully colorful pieces to move beyond the basics. Just add a single pop of color using what you already have: a vibrant bag, colorful shoes, a scarf, a bold lipstick. This touch of color in a neutral look creates an instant point of interest and makes the outfit look intentional and stylish. The opposite also works. If you're wearing a colorful or printed piece, keeping everything else neutral and simple makes the special piece shine even more. The point is understanding that you control the balance between neutral and color, and that balance determines whether the outfit looks basic or interesting. Finally, one of the most effective ways to move beyond the basics is simply to stop wearing the same automatic combinations. Most people have far more pieces in their wardrobe than they actually wear because they always reach for the same obvious pairings. That top you always wear with the same pants can look completely different with another skirt that's been sitting in your closet. That blazer you always wear with the same outfit can transform a t-shirt and jeans. The dress you always wear alone can gain new life with a layer underneath or over it. Spend a few minutes literally looking at your closet and creating combinations you've never tried before, photograph the ones that work, and suddenly you have a list of new outfits without having bought anything. The basics aren't in the pieces you own, they're in the automatic repetition of the same combinations. Stepping out of the basics has nothing to do with having special pieces or spending money. It has everything to do with using what you already own in more intentional and creative ways. Each of these techniques takes seconds to implement, but completely changes the perception of your outfit because you're adding layers of visual interest through proportions, textures, colors, adjustments, and unexpected combinations. The difference between looking basic and looking stylish is much more about how you think about your clothes than about the clothes themselves. Start by choosing 2 or 3 of these strategies that make the most sense for you and try applying them this week to your usual outfits. Photograph the results so you can see the difference for yourself. You'll realize you have far more possibilities in your closet than you imagined, and that style is a matter of seeing and using things differently, not of buying new things.